Hey Sibs! 2 videos ago I think I did a video on bullying, and a lot of you liked it, but some of you said, okay, but you didn't address cyberbullying at all, or just internet interactions in general. So the first thing I want to say is that the internet is actually a public space. And I think people forget that because, they're not seeing these people face to face, so they feel like they can say anything to people. And it's not really the case. I mean, sometimes I'm like reading the comments and people will say stuff like, go drink bleach, or I hope you kill yourself, or I'm gonna come there and chop you into little pieces and feed it to your dog. First of all, whoa, okay, those are really, really terrible things to say to a person. But second of all, just like bullying in real life, a lot of that stuff that you're saying, just harassment in general, that kind of stuff is illegal. So you're also breaking the law. So simple, don't do it. A good rule of thumb is that if you wouldn't say what you're saying in the middle of a cafe or restaurant with a bunch of other people seeing you say it and hearing you say it to a person physically to their face, don't say it online either. If you would tell someone to drink bleach or something crazy like that in the middle of the mall, that's not right. You need to get that checked out. Seriously though, we need to bring back some of that respect, some of that, respect yourself and others, stuff we learned back in kindergarten. There are certain things that are just not okay. You shouldn't be saying them. Now, if you're the victim of cyberbullying, there's actually a couple of things you can do. The first thing I want to say is that cyberbullying is probably the best kind of bullying to have. I know it sounds weird, but let me explain. The best thing about getting cyberbullied is you have physical proof of it happening. Anytime it happens, you can take a picture of it, you can screenshot it, you can copy paste and print it out. You have physical proof of it happening, of everything they said to you. And if you have to go to court or approach a police officer about it, you will have something physical to give them, and it won't be just he said, she said. Next, every social media that you are on has terms of agreement. It's that long 20, 40, 80, 100-page thing that nobody reads, but everybody says, I agree. In it are rules put in place to protect you against any kind of violence on the internet. And everybody who signs up agrees to abide by that rule and those rules in general. So when someone is cyberbullying you, not only are they breaking the law in general, they're breaking the rules of agreement for that specific site. And they can actually have their user privileges revoked, which means getting their account shut down. Another thing is, all social media have a block and report button. Report buttons, for example, on Instagram or on Facebook, are there when someone is breaking the rules, and the block button is there for immediate action. So if you reported someone but they're not stopping, and by the time Instagram looks into it or whatever, you're still getting bullied, block the person. In high school, we have this fear of blocking people because, oh, we're gonna look like such wussies and lame and blah, blah, blah. No, that's what it's there for. And this is another example of how cyberbullying is so much better than real life bullying, because in real life, you can't just block someone and have them not exist anymore. On the internet, you can actually do that. This person literally doesn't exist in your sphere. That's amazing. But seriously though, these buttons and tools are there for that reason, so use them. And lastly, if all else fails, delete your account, make a new account, or you know what, just get off of social media, do other things with your life. If you're at school getting bullied and you come home and you're getting bullied more on social media, why are you on that thing? You don't have a choice. You have to be in school, to a certain extent, but you have the choice to not be on Instagram for 40 hours a day. You don't have to. There isn't 40 hours in a day. You know what I mean. The internet is like one big hangout place. And so if people are being mean to you or whatever in a small part of that internet space, don't go there. At least until it's dealt with. Now I've got one more thing to address, and that's pictures. You know what I'm talking about. You send a picture to your boyfriend or to your girlfriend and it's a little bit explicit, and next thing you know, your butt is on the internet and everybody's making fun of you and telling you to kill yourself. Yeah. First of all, senders, be careful who you send your pictures to. Anytime you send a picture, just imagine it being on the internet, because that could potentially happen. But you know what? In the end, if it happens, it happens, okay? And the person who distributed your pictures will be dealt with, and I will actually address that in a second. But I want to say to you first, it happens. People make mistakes. And it's okay to make mistakes. It's how we learn. Ideally, you won't make this mistake because you've had people tell you, be careful who you send your pictures to, don't send those kind of pictures, etc. But if it happens, you're not the first or the last. person to send a cleavage or a booty picture. Even celebrities have done it. Rihanna had her pictures leaked. Vanessa Hudgens had her pictures leaked. Amanda Bynes took her own pictures and put them on internet. It happens. People do it. It's clearly a thing in today's generation. So it's fine. The whole sending, distributing pictures thing can happen to both guys and girls, but usually it happens that girls are the ones taking and sending the pictures, and the guys are the ones distributing those pictures to everybody else. So I just want to address the boys here for a second. Boys, you realize that for girls it's very, very hard in this society to express your sexuality at all because there's so much taboo, and you're either a total prude and a loser or you're a complete slut. There's no middle ground, it seems, when it comes to girls and their sexuality. So you have to understand that when a girl decides to even venture and break out of that mold and try and toe that line of, you know, tasteful, sexy or whatever, she is taking a very big risk here. And the worst thing you can do is, you know, pretend you're gonna catch her and then let her fall right on her face. You should be respecting the guts it takes to put herself out there. And you should be honored that you're getting to experience something that maybe a lot of the guys in your grade haven't. If no girl ever did anything, none of you guys would ever be getting any of the experiences that you're supposed to get as guys. And if you're a jerk to one girl, do you think any other girl's gonna wanna be with you or share anything with you or even talk to you? Not to even mention the laws involved when you take someone's picture and you distribute them. From unrightful distribution, to copyright infringement, to defamation, to of course blackmail and stalking, and of course the holy grail, possession and distribution of child pornography. You could go to jail. So I wouldn't really mess with that. I want to leave you all off with this, okay? People make mistakes. And usually they are stupid mistakes because that's why it's a mistake, because you did something stupid that you weren't supposed to do. And I find it annoying that little kids can make mistakes all the time and nobody says anything because they're little and they're learning and it's totally cool. But when those kids grow up a little bit and they make mistakes, people freak out and how could she do that and why was he so stupid? And people are being told to kill themselves and other people are supporting that. Growing up is hard enough without the constant fear that someone is going to screw you over or try and ruin your life or, you know, betray your trust. Be nice to each other, be respectful to each other, and just let's try to be civil on the internet. Remember, you are creating the person you want to be as an adult one day, and anything you do now is going to affect your future later on. Your actions have consequences, both in the short term and in the long term. And you're trying to do things that are going to have the best possible consequences, not the worst ones. Like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you next week, Sibs.